Here we are. We have Tricia Murphy and Lauren McGowan from the kitchen table in Vickery Village. This is our second Vickery Village interview. You know, obviously you guys are a newer business in Vickery Village, which is exciting. Lauren, Tricia, tell us, how did we get started with the kitchen table?
You know, what's funny is that, well, we're both part owners at the station, and we knew that the station has great appetizers, but we found that people really wanted more of a dinner option, and there wasn't room to do a kitchen there. And when the building became available, we just begged the person that bought it, please put food there. And they asked us if we'd be interested in doing it, and we had started an event business, and we thought, sure, why not add food to that? Yeah.
So I would assume you probably are able to maybe cater a little bit out of there too as well?
We do. We've done a couple of catering events, and we learned a lot.
Yes, we did.
Yep.
But it was fun. We really actually enjoy that part of it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So what was the vision behind Kitchen Table? Because it's really unique. It's not anything that I've really seen a lot in our area, in the greater Green Bay area. So
I think we wanted food that was not bar food. So we didn't want to deep fry anything. And then we weren't super attracted to like the healthy salad bar food either. So kind of landed in the middle of like our kitchen and what we grew up cooking and what we cook now. Most of it's your food vision. I think our buns were the first, our chicken sandwich was the first thing we wanted to put on the menu. And then we've also done a bunch of different meals where we throw it all in a bowl. So I think from there we were like, okay, bowls and buns, that's what we're going to do just from our kitchen. But again, we started our event company last year, like this time.
what's the name of your event company?
The Gathering Type.
Okay.
We were excited to be a restaurant that also was very event and community driven too. So we're still figuring out what that means, but our tagline's bowls, buns, and good times. And our good times is the kind of events, community aspect of it.
Yeah. That ties a lot into what we're trying to do too with our clients. And, you know, just giving back to the community is like the big thing. Our company's all based on gratitude and value and give back. But also you got to have a good time in there too, which is important. So that's awesome. Like we'll obviously be talking more about some of this other stuff. With that being said, so you have that, and you use the word gathering, and it flashed me back to when Station 1 was starting, and like that was the common theme with Pete and Troy and Mark and everybody else that was involved, was we really want to make this a place of gathering and community. And so you guys are tying that in so well with like just that core value that you guys have over there, which is really cool.
Yeah. I would say too that every time we've ever done anything in our homes, everyone, and I think it's probably true for everybody, they all gather in your kitchen.
Yep.
And they all want to stand in your kitchen while you're cooking. They don't want to go sit in the living room. They want to be where you are.
Unless there's football on.
Well, okay, that's true. So we just felt like, what a great name, because we felt like people do come and stand in our kitchen or sit at our table. And
yeah, that's exactly it. So what kind of foods do you guys have?
We do
talk
have the
about
buns.
the chicken, the buns and the chicken sandwich.
So we love chicken thighs, dark meat. So we decided to make the sandwiches chicken thigh sandwiches.
Nice.
So we have an Italian bun, and that has fresh mozzarella, pesto basil is on it, and then we do some drizzle of balsamic glaze and
we had
tomato.
to do this right before lunch.
Like a fresh slice of tomato on these really great buns. And then our side, we've done this for, I don't know, long time, making a side of roasted sweet potatoes. Our family's grown up on it. I've made it for our kids forever. And so we do naked, which is just plain roasted, which they're really good plain. And then we've also done dressed up, which has feta, almonds, slivered almonds, and then craisins, and we roast those too. And so those get all kind of crispy and dark, and they're so good.
Yes,
and then tell them about our bowls.
We have an assortment of bowls. They don't follow a theme. The only theme is they're in a bowl. A lot of people love our pizza bowl. It's baked right side up, and we serve it upside down. So it's like it's in a bowl because the pizza's on the crust. That one's very good. And then we have a Thai bowl, which is like a peanut chicken sauce, chicken thighs. And then we have a mango jalapeno salsa on that. with peanuts and cilantro. That one and cucumber.
Cucumbers.
That one's really good. And then we have a curry bowl also.
Yeah, it has a hot honey that we drizzle over the top, and we serve it with naan bread, which is really yummy.
Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah, and then our fourth
And then,
one.
we just added the Murphy salad bowl, which again, just something we grew up, you made all the time. And that is on arugula. It's our chicken and our sweet potatoes. And then it has so many things: Kalamata olives, artichokes, feta, silvered almonds, craisins. And then it has a sesame ginger dressing. It's very good.
Nice. Hopefully we're putting the menu right in this part right now on the podcast. Note that, Rob. So, so that's awesome. So, I mean, that sounds all delicious. When are you guys typically open?
Right now we're doing, well, let me talk about evenings. We're trying to match mostly the station, at least at a normal dinner time. So we open at 4 because they open at 4. And then we're going to either 7:30 or 8, depending on the day.
Makes sense,
so right around there. And you can order directly from the station, which is really nice. So a lot of people go online and order from there. And then we're doing a lunch hour right now. We're trying it. It's kind of on a, let's see how this works. I'm trying to open it to see if even businesses like your own would want to order. We can get it all ready for you to swing by and grab it.
Nice.
And so that's from 12 to 1, Tuesday through Friday.
Gotcha.
Actually, really Saturday too. Saturday we're open 12 to 2 and then 4 to 8.
You know, you guys went out, you took a leap, right? Like anytime somebody opens a business, they take a leap. Like, how did you get started? Like, what was it, like the point where you're like, Lauren, we got to do this, or Mom, we got to do this?
I feel like the event company was the start of it. We both were doing different things and wanting something different, and we had always talked about working together. And
I had always wanted to do one. I always thought I'd do a breakfast place, actually very similar to what Spork is doing.
Oh, yeah.
Which is right there in Vickery Village. And when John came to us and said, hey, this building's coming up for rent, what would you put in? I have an insurance guy that wants it. I was like, no. Please don't do that. Just because it's right next to the station. And we said to him, put food in there.
Yeah.
And he said to us, do you want to do it? And I thought, oh my gosh. It was great to have somebody like John who is just, I mean, probably the best landlord you can have.
Oh, yeah.
And
he cares so deeply about like what goes in there. It's very strategic. He's got a vision for it. He's super smart. But it's such a unique area. Like, it's literally a small village within a village.
Yes.
It's so cool.
Yeah, it really is.
So very cool. So we're on to that part. Now we got the doors open, right?
Yeah,
so what happens after the doors open? Like, how do you manage it? Because you're mostly remote, right, Lauren?
Yes, I live in Milwaukee. And I have 2 small kids, and so I'm doing a lot of the back end stuff. I do social media, and I'm also doing the finances. And I'm only laughing because my husband is a CFO and I don't have any background. So I'm like his understudy and he's teaching me and and he's helping us. But
he's like, yes. She's finally going to learn how to do the books.
He is very excited I'm learning. So
she'll finally understand what I've been talking about.
Pretty much. So I'm just laughing because it's been fun to do with him.
Yeah.
But I don't have a background in that. But I'm doing the finances and I'm doing social media stuff. But right now, because it's just, beginning, I think we're like 8 weeks, close to 8 weeks open. I've been up a lot and we've worked together a lot and we have a lot of plans for the interior still. So we're doing a lot of those projects. But anyway, I work in Milwaukee and come up a lot.
So that's good. So what is your role then? So you're the cook,
yes,
I assume.
I am. I dream up what we're going to make. And I hope someday, that I don't have to be in the kitchen all the time.
Yeah.
But I don't mind being there. I feel like I'm meeting the community. I'm meeting new people every day. I like being the face for now. We've hired 2 people as well as your siblings. And
they have.
They have stepped in here and there. And they're great. And Troy, my husband, he shows up and runs the cash register for me.
Oh, sure.
But I hope one day I don't have to be in there as much. Yeah. But I like it right now.
Of course. And that's all part of it, right? Like when you start a business, you kind of have to be the face and you're the person that people know. And what is it like, like working with family? Like is there any butting heads and... Well, you can't even say you're not my mom like Rob does to me sometimes when he says you're not my dad.
I know. You are my mom. Well,
we?
I just think like you have worked with Dad a lot
Yes.
in the past,
Yeah.
and then with the brewery, because I'm in the brewery too, so that's a bunch of family in the brewery too.
You got not only your family, but you have like 5 other
Right.
families in
Yes,
there.
there's
So,
5
Oh,
families.
yeah. We've butt heads on maybe a couple of things, but I would expect that. I mean,
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to paint a picture where there's nothing.
No,
There, of course.
that's
We
true.
both
Well,
are
butting heads is
passionate.
good and bad, right?
Yes,
Like, because
yeah,
it allows
yeah.
you, like, you're a different type of creativity than you
Yes.
are.
I think because she's so strong in being creative, I really lean heavily on her doing that. I very rarely will butt up again. I don't think I do, at least. Maybe I do, but I feel like I really trust. I really want a younger version and vision for what we're doing,
Sure.
as I know you have to do that in
Yep.
business. So I really enjoy working with Lauren.
It's cool that you allow her to use her strengths, where I've
Yes.
noticed in a lot of other family businesses is like, I've been doing this stuff forever.
Yes.
You don't know what you're doing. And then
Yes.
you like limit that growth for that younger person that's,
Yeah.
even though they've been observing it their whole life, right? And then you
Yes.
come in. So you've been able to empower it, which is really cool. So,
I would
oh my
agree.
God, that's so cool. Like,
Yeah.
It's been
just
very
like the
fun.
whole family dynamics part. I was really intrigued in that. So, what are you guys, as far as like any community initiatives? I know it's so new, so maybe you haven't even got that far.
We want to do a Christmas party. We never did really a grand opening. We kind of did a soft opening. So we do want to do something fun in December. So we're working on that right now. But I would say right now we're trying to just figure out restaurant life and how to do that. And then as we go, we'll figure out kind of what the community needs and wants and go from
Yeah.
there.
I think with John too, he's so passionate about doing community stuff.
Yeah.
I know we'll get involved that way too.
Yeah. Well, and I would imagine like it's the balance now of patience, right?
Well, it's so hard to be patient. I think for me, it's just that constant reminder to slow down, let it take shape and
Yep.
form. And, when you plan events, you can plan it. You know it's coming. You can make it as big as you want to. This is different.
So what are the biggest challenges for you? I mean, obviously opening, but like in the last
Yeah.
3 months, what were the biggest challenges, and maybe what are you guys, what's your big challenge now? How are you overcoming that?
Yeah. Probably the biggest challenge for us initially was, I didn't know how long it would take to do construction, honestly. And so we were really hoping to open during summer, capture some of that activity. So probably our biggest challenge right now, I would say, how do we sustain this and create movement during winter months? Finding distributors,
Yep.
learning how to shop well.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
honestly, it sounds so silly. You think, oh my gosh, I've shopped for my family my whole life. Why can't I do this right?
Yeah.
So it is challenging.
Yeah.
Like being really consistent and then
Is it
also
finding the quality versus cost?
yes, but all of those things.
Yeah.
Yes. And I mean quality is very important to both of us. So
Right.
it's got to be fresh. It has to taste good.
Right.
So I just won't cut corners on that.
Now, switching
Yeah.
gears a little bit.
Yeah.
The person, right?
Yeah.
Like you guys are both individual human beings.
Yeah.
What's a passion project, or what do you like to do in your free time? Like, what do you read? What movies are your favorite?
Oh gosh.
I have too many projects.
You
Probably. But I would say one of the things I've been working on a lot over the last year is in the brewery, there's those hanging rugs. And my sister and I worked on those last year in my basement. And so one of the things I've been doing is we have a couple more we're working on, and spent hours and like so much yarn making these. So I've done that. That's one of my projects I've been working
How
on.
did you get into like rug making?
Well, that I would
That is
so
a
that's
great
probably
question.
like the better answer is
Like
that
you're
I,
so
I
young,
do
I don't
create
envision
just
somebody
anything that I could make myself, I will do it. So I would say my hobby is to just be creative. We have stamps at our place, and out of
She
rubber, I
carved
carved
them.
them.
Yes.
Some rubber pieces. I went to school for art.
Yeah.
And so I've always been creative, and
Yeah.
my emphasis was in sculpture. So basically anything really 3D. So I do it all the time. Like we made shirts for someone in our family for his birthday, and my sister and I carved out all the pieces together and stamped every shirt. And so
They did.
I'm just really, I love hosting, love being creative. And I do have 2 kids at home with me.
Yeah.
So that's also my other job.
Can't really
I was
call
gonna
those
say hobby,
hobbies, but
it's my job. Love it.
This is momming. Just momming.
Yeah.
What about you?
Oh man. Well, right now it is the restaurant.
Yeah.
I mean, I live and breathe that place.
Yep.
But I love to read. So I'm a historical fiction person.
Okay.
I love historical fiction. Anything around World War II. I'm starting to look into, there isn't as much around World War I. Just wanting to know what it was like. I like digging into people's lives, knowing what it's like.
Yeah.
So, and then I love eating food anywhere.
It's good that
town.
you're good at it and good at cooking it.
Yeah, so I like to go and explore and see what's out there and try new places and so
Cool.
Yeah, you love to cook a new recipe too, which we haven't had time to since we opened, but this weekend was their first time she could. You tried something else out. Just fun.
it was so
It was really good.
it was a mushroom marsala. Oh, so good.
Yeah.
See, we're right by lunch again.
I know it. I'm so sorry.
I'm surprised not picking up my stomach growls
really good.
on the camera. So, all right. So now we switch it up in the interview. You guys get to interview me now.
Oh, very
We do
nice.
this at the end.
Okay. All right.
So ask me anything. We can go as long as you want.
Okay.
Philosophy, real estate,
Yeah.
anything.
All right. I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Knowing what you know now about us and our restaurant and you being an entrepreneur, what advice would you give us?
Yeah, I think the first thing is just keep working on socials, building those brand awareness is going to be so crucial. And how do you do that? I mean, one is just getting I would invite as many people in as you can, whether it be even if you have to sacrifice a little bit of food for a short period of time, is get business owners, influential people that you want to have into your restaurant and let them have a meal and then just show them how awesome it is, because those are the types of people that are going to go out and tell everybody.
Yeah.
So I'd say that's it's really kind of cheap marketing, right? It's supply, it costs money, but it's marketing, right? So, and then just more face-to-face stuff. And again, I'm sure you guys do a great job of that already because I know who you are, but that would be one of the big things. I don't think there's a secret to marketing. It's all trial and error and seeing what works, but just getting it out there as much as possible on all the socials, because that's free. That's what we're doing right now. Is everything is social media driven. When does the restaurant days start? And what is that?
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe
Great
look into
call.
that one. I don't know if you've done Uber Eats or anything like that.
Yet. And
I don't know,
I've
heard good things about it, but I've also heard bad things. The margins get cut really, really tight and it's not worth your time.
Yeah.
But again, I don't know anything about building a restaurant. So
Well,
Well, that was good advice.
but
it is.
Yeah.
It's good advice.
How can people find you
Well, on
now that we're on the
Instagram,
social media?
Yes,
Facebook?
we are on Instagram at the Kitchen Table GB and on Facebook. And we have a website, thekitchentablegb.com, I believe is our website too.
Yep.
And then we also we really want people to know of our online ordering because even for our lunch hours, we have a quick lunch hour. It's 12 to 1. So if you can pre-order, I think 6 days in advance.
Oh,
if
really?
You wanted. So even so the day of, you can do it, but you could also, if you know you need a lunch for a certain time, and that really helps us too kind of know. So we love it when people online order, and you can get that. I think it's linked everywhere for us, on Google Maps.
Yeah.
On
And your
everything.
website's super clean. I played around with it a little bit this morning, just doing my research, and
Simple.
it's real easy and simple. And that's
what we
that's smart
wanted.
too. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for coming
thank
in.
you.
This is great. We'll wrap it up. That's
All right.
it.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, you're
Appreciate
welcome.
it.
Well, thanks for coming
Pleasure.
in. Yeah, guys, that was Lauren McGowan and Tricia Murphy from the Kitchen Table right in downtown Vickery Village. Make sure to get out and support them. They were awesome. Their food is phenomenal. Wait till you eat it. It's so good. Get out, give them a follow, give them a like on their social media. Do the same for us if you will. And hope you enjoy this one. And we're going to find some cool ones for the next one. All right, that's as good as we're going to get today.